The truth really is full of despair, but then again, that's how despair works. It is always, always despair in someone's future. And this despair, now that is extremely sad. Burns recalled the time he saved Shinra from the very first time, wondering how a little flame like him could have survived. Back to the present, Shinra uses the more power he can just to try to get close to Captain Burns, but he is still being blown away by his heat pressure. So Burns still tells him, "You are like a candle flame." But Shinra refuses to give up, fires is all in his entire power to create a jet power and kicks Burns, although unfortunately Burns does manage to block it with his arm. However, that impresses Burns because this time it is a powerful. Burns just activated his full cowl, so to speak, and Shinra still managed to kick his arm, which greatly shook it. So he asks Shinra, "Will you be upset of what you learn? Even if I hate flame, I joined the fire brigade to find out the truth." Burns turns off his firepower and acknowledges Shinra as someone who has been strong, revealing he got a bruise from the kick. It is strong. He now realizes it's strong, and therefore he has known the truth. The preacher's gang, they were already moving 12 years ago, and it turns out that Haomiya was already a member of that brigade back then. But back then she was a child. That is beyond creepy, a child being that twisted. So who caused the fire back then? It was the demon. But the truth was much more sad than we can realize. So Haume somehow activated the Adora Burst inside of Shaw, or maybe Shaw's fire instead manifested. The fire began to spread inside the room where Shinra and Shaw's mother was also. It also revealed she has the same fangs as they. The fire began to infect the mother and she began to burn. Shinra of course saw her mother, who quickly told Shinra to run. And unfortunately he couldn't see anything as the fire engulfed the room, and all he saw was a demon. That's because the flame that infected their mother did not burn her to a crisp. No, it turned her into the demon. The demon that Shinra saw, the smiling demon with two horns. That was not just a demon. No, that was their mother. She was turned through the power of the thanks to the power of Shaw's Adora Burst and perhaps the infestation of the the White Hoods. She began to burn and she became the demon. It is also through that time that Shinra's firepower also awoke and he accidentally knocked out himself. Shaw's their mother turned into a horrifying demon, but still wanted to get close to her son. It's during that time she saw the preacher holding on to Shaw. Like a brilliant sun, though, it blinded her. And apparently it revealed that most White Hoods always cover their faces or they're blindfolded because of a symbolism. After all, we all know that you cannot look directly into the sun. Your eyes will burn and you will become blind. So basically, it's a symbolism. Something like another gang are saying, children may not see the sunshine, but if you want to reach a divine world, you need to feel it with your heart. I think basically saying like, do not look at the light for the path. You have to feel it with your heart. It's a symbiotic power, that a symbiotic feeling like covering their eyes so they can just follow their heart, which is the heart of the preacher, so to speak. And that indeed blinded the demon mother's eyes, and she pulled down her horns right into her eyes. Shinra can only quiver in despair as he now realizes that the demon he wanted to end was his own mother, as we see the final picture of how his mother truly looked like. Unlike any other flame human before, with horns now in her eyes, a big yellow spine-like tail, and a burnt body, almost like she was covered with the belts. Although I think it's more after skeletons. She cradles her son into her flames. Truly, the Shinra's past has been full of despair. He hated that demon for taking everything from him, and in a way it did. It only turns out it wasn't an it. It it was his mother, and she did not take everything away from him because she was turned into one. And the White Hoods took everything from him by turning his mother into a demon and making sure that Adora Burst into Shaw was awakened. They are to blame for Shinra's entire tragic past. That final page, though, a mother no longer human, still holding her baby son into her arms. That is just so tragic. It is just something emotional about that. Even as she turned into a demon, she still remembered her son. Where is she now? Is she still alive? If she is still alive, where is she? Again, she looks completely different than any other flame human before her. A dangerous spine-like tail. Shinra's journey to find out the truth. Truly I become the despair. What awaits him? No idea. But you give me your thoughts of what you thought about this.